Did I tell you my news?
No.
Something small and annoying had a go at my brassicas.
What was that?
It's not what you want, is it?
No, not really.
No.
So I can't. I'm trying to read my book. I can't concentrate with this news about Jack White going around.
News about Jack White, the musician.
Yeah, everyone thinks he's a vampire.
Jack White, the musician, is a vampire.
So on Twitter or Shitter or whatever.
Oh, well, it must be true then. That's the case, yeah. Why would you mention that Jack White, the musician, is a vampire on this programme? It would seem superfluous on the face of it to mention that in the pre-title sequence. I don't know.
That's just the way I am.
Yeah, well, I can't see it being necessary or relevant to the later part of the show, can you? No, I can't see that happening. Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Review to a Kill. My name's James and I'm a big James Bond fan.
And my name's Tom and I'm watching all these James Bond films for the first time.
That's right. Each episode we're going to be analysing a different film from the series. Me having seen it a million times before and Tom watching it for the very first time. Now, as we say at the beginning of every episode, there will be
spoilers!
So if you haven't seen the movie that we're going to be talking about tonight, please do watch that movie before you proceed any further. Otherwise, we will spoil it for you. Now, we always want to hear your feedback here on our humble little show, which is made entirely for your entertainment by a team of enthusiastic volunteers. So if you'd like to just furnish us with your thoughts, all you have to do is comment below. And that is exactly what these people have done. They contacted us after our Casino Royale episode 21, and they allowed us to furnish this episode with our wonderful feature, Feedback Corner. Nice. That's a lovely tune. So if you want to contact us, just leave us a little message, or you can contact us on social media, the details of which will be appearing on the screen as we speak. Now, look, clever. Ooh, very good. So, here's Feedback Corner for this episode. We're going to start with Triforce of Kaz, one of our regular correspondents. Good evening. Thank you for contacting us. Lovely to hear from you again. Casino Royale is up at the top for me, as is the theme song.
Yeah.
We did talk a lot about the theme song last time. The whole "You Know My Name" is so appropriate for James Bond, someone whose name everybody knows. Good point. And as I said in response to the GoldenEye episode, Martin Campbell as director has a perfect batting record when it comes to Bond. That is absolutely true. GoldenEye and Casino Royale.
Pretty good.
That's
on
two
the CV,
really strong Bond films. I can see your point regarding length.
Yeah.
As you can start to feel it toward the end. But the ride still made it worth it.
Don't encourage him.
No, you're absolutely right, Triforce of Kaz. I think overall it's a great movie. I would maybe shave just maybe 10 minutes off it, but I'm nitpicking. It's interesting that Tom mentioned The Batman because that's another movie that's like that.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent
point.
point.
Because of Felix and Jeffrey Wright.
Indeed. And was a refreshing change from its immediate predecessor. Also an excellent point. It was the second Bond movie, Casino Royale, that I saw in the cinema. And it certainly washed the bad taste of the first one out of my mouth, which I imagine presumably was done another day, so that's why you feel that way. Thank you, Triforce of Kaz. Always lovely to hear from you.
Thank you very much.
Benign Crinoid.
Yeah.
This was a new correspondent last time, I think. Hello to you, sir, madam, wherever you're from. There's no middle ground when it comes to the Craig era. They're either top tier Bond, Casino Royale and Skyfall, or they are the dregs of cinema that gives Jaws 4 a run for its money. I'm going to say those two that they mentioned are the best two of the Craig era.
So I've got one more movie to look forward to.
Pretty much. I think it's a little harsh to compare them to Jaws 4, but I do agree that Skyfall and Casino Royale are the best two of the Craig era. I think that's a fairly commonly held view for the most part. Our friends over at Revenge of the Drive-In. Hi,
All right,
chaps.
lads.
Nice
How's
to
it
hear
going?
from you again, gentlemen. Don't listen to them, Tom. No Time to Die isn't that bad. It is. Though my co-host, Jim, has taken James's point of view. Jim, you, sir, are correct. Factually, provably correct.
I still can't. I honestly can't weigh in on this. I watch them one at a time.
You still haven't watched them yet, so okay, we'll get to that. It is, they say, a heavy point of contention between us.
Right.
So there we are. Look, we don't want to contribute to your
Maybe
great
I'll
show
love it.
breaking up.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we don't want to.
But yeah,
want to do
maybe
that.
I'll love it then. Who knows?
Maybe
Stay
you'll
tuned.
love it, and we'll have an agreeable disagreement about it.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll decide that I'm right, which is usually what happens.
Could be my favourite film ever.
Yeah, it won't. If it is, it'll be our final episode, just so you know. And finally, on Feedback Corner, it's time for the official nice person, Queenie Colombo.
And cheers.
Anna, hey, good timing. I am so very pleased, says the official nice person, that one of you scored the theme song 10. It was a 10 and a 9. I mean, 19 out of 20.
8, I think I went.
Excellent scoring. It was 8. Was it even so? Very
Well,
high.
high.
But I love it. It was a 10 for me. For me, says the OMP, it is the quintessential Bond theme. It helped that it was a wonderful surprise. I wasn't expecting anything like it. That's a good point as well.
Yeah.
And I love that it's not a ballad. The lyrics are on point. What does it mean to become an assassin? Great. I think these are all excellent points from the OMP. Another opinion I strongly agree with, she says, is the DBS. We did talk about the DBS, which is a beautiful car. It's a blinder of an action film, and I don't mind the length of it. It's thrilling. And she also says, Tom, I hope you'll give No Time to Die a chance when you get to it.
Oh, yeah.
You should give No
it,
Time to Die a chance. Of course you should. My dislike of it must not colour your opinion. You may love it, and you're perfectly entitled to your opinion, even if you'd be wrong. And that was...
I can't see it being like a massive debate. I don't, but we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
That was Feedback Corner. Lovely. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about tonight's film,
Right.
shall we? So this is the 22nd episode, which means we're going to do the 22nd entry in the Bond canon, which, of the official entries anyway, would be Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace.
Da 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 da. Ding, ding, ding,
Dun, dun, dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, nice. If Jack White were here, he'd have been quite impressed with that, wouldn't he?
Probably, but let's thank the Lord he's not.
Because
If
he's a vampire.
rumours are to be
Exactly.
believed.
That's the
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the 22nd movie in the James Bond canon, which gives me a chance to once again display my excellent French with Tom's French chart. To say that Quantum of Solace in French is... Quantum of...
Yeah.
Quantum
Sorry,
of
I
Solace
should have
again.
told you not to bother.
Yeah. Should we just...
No, we just keep it in.
No, we'll just...
Forget it. Yes, we do.
No, honestly, please keep my abject humiliation in. That'd be fine. That's fine. Well, anyway, before we go any further and we get into Quantum of Solace and discuss it with the fine intellectual rigour for which this show is well renowned, we must, of course, go to my friend and colleague. Well, he'll neither be a friend or colleague if he likes No Time to Die. But Mr. Tom Scriven will now give us his magnificent plot summary of Quantum of Solace. Tom, please take it away.
Here we go then. Okay. Bond has a chase in his car with some baddies in a sequence that seems to be going for the Guinness World Records for most cuts per second
It does a
to
bit.
Siena, Italy. And it turns out that he's got Mr. White from the last movie in the back of his car. Roll opening credits. Bond takes White in for questioning with M, who mentions Vesper's boyfriend was apparently killed, but she did a DNA test and it's not him, right? So he's still alive. But it turns out the guards, one of M's guards, is a baddie who helps White escape. And this sequence is intercut with an unrelated horse race. There's a bit of parkour, a bit of rooftop parkour, and a fight on some swinging bells. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Bond.
That's not one of my euphemisms, by the way.
No. And then Bond goes to the baddie's flat in London. He gets an earful from M for killing the baddie when they needed him for questioning. Bond follows a lead in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and kills another baddie who could have offered vital information. He picks up the baddie's briefcase and gets a lift from Camille, who thinks he's the baddie, but there's this other baddie who thinks Bond's the baddie, and Bond nicks his motorbike and tracks down Camille, who goes to see the main bastard baddie, Dominic Green, who confirms that he's just tried to have her killed. And then they have a bit of a chat, and he makes this deal with this exiled Bolivian general, Medrano. And he killed Camille's family, by the way, right? And he's making a deal to overthrow the Bolivian government in exchange for a shitty bit of desert land. So Bond sort of rescues Camille, who was trying to kill Medrano, but during this boat chase, she gets knocked out. And then M tries to remind Bond not to kill all the baddies, which goes in one ear, out the other. Felix and David Harbour are seen dealing with green, blah, blah, stocks, blah, blah, Bolivian oil. Bond goes to the opera in Bregenz, Austria, where all the baddies are having a meeting. Bond puts the shits up them, so most of them leave, letting Bond take loads of photos of them. Then there's a shootout in the theatre restaurant. This sequence is intercut with loads of opera. Bond lets this bloke fall off a roof, and then he gets killed by Green's men. Turns out this bloke was Secret Service, so M is well eggy, right? So she orders Bond to come in, but he's like, no way, man. And he goes to Talmoni, Italy, to get help from Mathis from the last movie.
From the previous.
Who's been generously compensated for being falsely accused of being a baddie. So they go to La Paz, Bolivia. But M sent this consulate, Fields, to bring in Bond, but he does it with her. And then they go to Green's fundraiser. Camille shows up, Fields trips up a baddie, exposing his wig, and then Bond ditches Fields and leaves with Camille. They get pulled over and find Mathis in the boot, all knackered up. And Mathis gets shot by the police, and Bond kills the cops, right? And chucks Mathis in a skip. And then Bond and Camille get in a plane and have a fight with another plane, and then they have to jump out with only one parachute and narrowly avoid death, landing in a sinkhole where they discover that Quantum, which Quantum's the main...
Quantum's
I
the
didn't
main
say that's
organisation of baddies.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention that. So they're knackering up Bolivia's water supply, right? M shows that Fields has been killed by oil, and now she's like, well eggy with Bond, but he avoids being taken in and goes off with Camille. Bond meets up with Felix, who tells him where to find Green. In the baddies' hotel in the desert, after remarking on how potentially flammable the place is, the baddies have a meeting which Medrano is made to sign Green's contract to finalise his plan with the water and everything. But Bond and Camille come in, shoot everyone up, and the place goes up in flames, as previously remarked. Camille kills Medrano, while Bond and Green have a fight in the burning, exploding hotel. Green gets out, but he has a knackered foot, and Bond and Camille nearly burn to death but manage to escape. After questioning Green off-screen, Bond leaves him to die in the desert, and then Bond goes to Kazan, Russia! Having tracked down Vesper's boyfriend that they talked about in the beginning, so they find that he works for Quantum to get contacts and info and stuff by seducing agents, right? One such agent gets saved as Bond finally doesn't kill a baddie, but brings him in instead. But then M says that Green was found dead in the desert.
Yes.
And that's the end.
That was the plot summary. Would you like some information on Quantum of Solace? This is the 22nd James Bond movie. It was intended as a direct follow-up to Casino Royale and was always intended as such. In fact, it was even mentioned in the press conference announcing Daniel Craig as Bond that Purvis and Wade were working on what became Quantum of Solace, the follow-up to Casino Royale. So it was always intended as a direct follow-up.
Right.
The cast. Daniel Craig returning for his second film as James Bond. Even more physical, I think, for him to make than Casino Royale was. In fact, he sliced his face open during the filming of this and needed 8 stitches after an accident. Olga Kurilenko as Camila Montez. She is a Ukrainian actress.
Yeah.
Went on to be in Oblivion with Tom Cruise. The Death of Stalin, you ever seen that?
I haven't seen it, actually.
It's brilliant.
Armando Iannucci, isn't it?
Yeah, strongly recommended. Yeah. Great movie. And Black Widow.
She's in Black Widow and more recently Thunderbolts as the same character.
Mathieu Amalric as Dominic Green, who decided Amalric to give the character a sort of low key, almost sort of pitiful quality, you know. So we'll talk about that. He had been in Steven Spielberg's Munich and went on to be in Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel.
I've seen that. It's good.
Yeah, very good movie. Gemma Arterton as Fields.
Yeah.
Officially, she's known as Strawberry Fields, but her name isn't given until the closing credits.
Yeah. I actually heard that they were going to call her Wendy Christine Fields.
W.C. Fields. Very good. I see what you've done there. I see what you've done there. Very good.
I tried to get him. It's not.
No,
you don't fall for these ones anymore.
No, I don't. Because I can see it coming. Gemma Arterton has had a long and varied career in many genres and in lots of interesting different films. She actually learnt fluent French for one movie. She's a bit like me, really, with the board. She's a fluent French speaker.
That's quite...
David Harbour as Greg Beam. He was only 33 then. He looks much older.
That's crazy.
Went on to a much bigger part in Stranger Things. And was married to Liliana.
And he's a Marvel man as well. He was in the same movies as Olga
Kurylenko?
Yeah.
Very good. I have to refer to you as the Marvel expert, I'm afraid. Giancarlo Giannini returns as René Mathis, the Italian actor who was in the previous movie, had previously been nominated for an Oscar back in the 70s at the beginning of his career. Jesper Christensen returns as Mr. White, very highly respected Danish actor. Also returning, Judi Dench as M. Slightly larger part for her this time, I think. No Q and no Moneypenny.
Again.
All will be explained. Just hang fire.
Bloody better be.
Also reintroducing Bill Tanner.
Yes.
We haven't seen Bill Tanner for a little while, but he is reintroduced in quite a low-key way as Chief of Staff. This time played by Rory Kinnear.
Do you know who his dad is?
Roy Kinnear.
Yeah, from
the great Roy Kinnear.
Willy Wonka.
From Willy Wonka and a great many other
dad.
things. Yeah. Rory has had an interesting TV career. He's been in Inside Number 9, Black Mirror, years and years, Count Arthur Strong, all kinds of things. He will become a recurring character, by the way. So if you like him, this is where it all starts. And the return of Jeffrey Wright. And I'm going to say it again, coolest Felix ever.
Agreed.
A few extras. We always talk about some extras and cameos and bits and bobs like that. Tim Pigott-Smith as the Foreign Secretary. BAFTA award-winning actor, had a very long career in film, TV and stage. Very much a sort of thespian of the old variety that knew Judi Dench from years back in Shakespeare and all that kind of stuff.
Gives her a bollocking in this one.
He does. Yeah. It's not very Shakespeare-y, is it?
Fault, isn't it?
Paul Ritter as Guy Haynes.
Yeah.
Paul Ritter was in Friday Night Dinner. He was the dad in Friday Night Dinner for about 9 years.
I haven't watched it, but
quite a long time.
I hear it's very, very
good show. Yeah, he's sadly no longer with us, but he was a very good actor. Sarah Hadland.
I recognised her, from a lot of comedy stuff.
Yes, Mitchell and Webb, Miranda, Horrible Histories, and so on.
I watched Mitchell and Webb. I think that's where I know her from.
Yeah. So she's popped up in loads of things. My kids used to watch her in Horrible Histories, by the way, which I strongly recommend. You don't have to be a kid. Watch it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Nice change that it's an airline receptionist who fancies Bond rather than a hotel receptionist this time. Nice little deviation from the norm.
Well, whatever. The other receptionist doesn't really give him the time of day, but we did see, hey, look, it's Michael G. Wilson again. Do you see him?
Exactly.
Is he reading the paper?
Sat reading the paper. One of his lower key cameos, Michael, there. By the way, did you spot the extra with the broom?
No, I did. I haven't. I don't know. I got to find when is this because you sent me the photo today. It's like, he's and like broom in the air.
The air, it's brilliant. So anyway, look out for him. This, of course, was as always produced by Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson. The script once again was by Neil Purvis and Robert Wade, and was then, as with Casino Royale, given a polish by Paul Haggis.
4 for them? No.
Purvis and Wade came on board at Royal and Sutton F. So 1, 2, 3. This is their 4th. Yeah. Paul Haggis is 2nd, giving it a polish to just change a few things.
Right, very varied scripts and stories, don't they?
They do. Yeah, they do. The director, and I think this is really what makes him slightly different. The director was Mark Forster, Swiss-German director. Had previously directed Monsters Ball, for which Halle Berry won an Oscar. Finding Neverland, Stranger Than Fiction, World War Z with Brad Pitt. That was crap. No, don't.
Do they all have action scenes with 6 shots every
Well, yeah,
second
and
or
this is
whatever,
this is the slightly odd thing because his CV is quite varied. He directed Christopher Robin, right, which is about as different to this as you can possibly get. And then you're right, he goes into action mode, and it's like mega action, and the cuts are mad, aren't they? They're too fast.
Yeah, because I was thinking, is this just me because I've got into editing that I'm now
No,
watching?
they're too fast.
And it's not like it in just the normal scene of dialogue with M and Bond. That stuff's all right, or looks fine, you know.
The action, the action's just.
If I'm doing I'm doing an action shot, I'm just not allowed to stay on a shot.
Amongst those who said it was too quick and cut too fast, Roger Moore.
Oh, okay.
He said, I couldn't follow what was happening.
Well, I don't know.
And he's got a point.
And I was watching this, and then the same evening, I watched a bit of a Jaws documentary on Sky or whatever.
Was it Jaws 4?
I think it was on... No, a documentary about the good Jaws.
I know, I get it.
And Spielberg was saying about just the shot... the sequence when the little boy gets killed, and he just said about we wanted to have knowing to go wide, knowing to go close. You want the audience to have this sense of geography. It's like what the hell is going on? And a very limited use of the wide shot.
Yeah,
it's there now and again, but it's like it could be the gag from Police Squad behind the bins.
Oh well, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that, but I think you're right. It's a little jumpy in places, isn't it? So anyway, that was Mark Forster. At 38, he was the youngest director in the series' history. Still is, by the way.
Okay.
Some brief information on the source novel or short story. Well,
what's that from?
Quantum of Solace was a short story that was in For Your Eyes Only, written in 1959, published in 1960. But here's the thing. There were 5 short stories in For Your Eyes Only. Quantum of Solace was one of them. But this was a very different kind of Bond story. First of all, Bond isn't actually involved that much. And secondly, there's no spy stuff running around shooting people or anything else. It's Bond listening to someone telling him a story. And that is literally it. The story is the story of the short story. It's
Imagine
the plot.
Them trying to
well,
get
it's
Amazon
completely
to do
impossible.
That.
Yeah, no, it's completely impossible.
I think it'd be amazing, but Amazon ain't doing that.
No way. However, they did keep the title, and the reason they kept the title was because this is what the person who's telling Bond the story. This is the sort of point of the story in the short story. When the quantum of solace between two people in a relationship drops to 0, humanity and consideration of them as human beings is gone, and at that point, there's no point continuing with the relationship. Okay. That's where the phrase "quantum of solace" came from, that Fleming came up with. Now, the reason Barbara Broccoli pushed for it as the title for this movie was because they decided it was going to be a revenge movie. Essentially, it's Bond avenging Vesper from Casino Royale. His quantum of solace has dropped to 0. He is revenge. No one's going to get in my way. I'm going to kill everybody and right? So that, Bond doesn't have any sort of niceness left in him because his girlfriend, the woman he loved, has been killed, and Bond is looking for revenge to make himself happy again. Hence, Quantum of Solace. Right, the production. We talk about problems in production.
Yeah.
The big problem, this probably won't surprise you given the script summary you've just had to read out, but the big problem with this production was the script.
Right.
They started filming and they had the bare bones of a script, and then the writer's strike happened. So the writer's strike from November 2007 to February 2008, they were already filming and couldn't employ any writers. So what it meant was that Daniel Craig and Mark Forster, so the star and the director, had to sort of polish up the script between them and write the scenes as they were trying to film. And it was just a mess. Daniel Craig has subsequently described in various interviews making Quantum of Solace as a shit show and, in one of his more eloquent moments, a f***ing nightmare.
Right.
So clearly it wasn't a happy production to be on. And I can imagine that. We talked about it a bit with Tomorrow Never Dies. If you haven't got a script and you're trying to film and lines are being written directly before you have to go on camera and say them, that's got to be tough as an actor, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, why don't they just wait? Like, why?
Well, I think with hindsight,
money. Like, I know they're losing money, but you just wait.
I think with hindsight, maybe waiting would have been the better way. Anyway, they didn't, and so that was the
Yeah.
big problem during production. There were also a couple of stunts going wrong again.
no.
An Aston Martin engineer driving a DBS to the set crashed into the lake in Italy. Thankfully, he was unharmed. He was actually fined by the Italian authorities for reckless driving, which is a bit tough. But there was a much more serious accident that occurred while they were shooting the same scene, shooting along, by the side of the lake in northern Italy.
Yeah.
A Greek stuntman called Aris Komninos actually ended up in intensive care. Fortunately, he did make a full recovery, but it was a very, very nasty accident by all accounts. So, not an easy production for a variety of reasons. However, reception. Rotten Tomatoes today has this movie at 63%. So down a bit on Casino Royale. It does seem to have taken on an awful lot of hate from certain sections of the fan community.
Okay.
I think the flash cutting doesn't help.
Yeah.
The script was criticised as being too complicated, not easy enough to follow. Craig's performance was praised. Lots of people saying that he was very good and was sort of, feeling more comfortable in the role and getting into the role as well. However, none of this affected the box office. The budget for this movie was 200 million, so 50 million more than Casino Royale. And it made almost as much as Casino Royale. 589 million. I think Casino Royale was a shade over 600, wasn't it? So it's still, financially at least, a huge success. Mm-hmm. So those are the details of Quantum of Solace, but what do we think? I imagine the world is pregnant with anticipation and can't wait to find out. So we will be back in just a moment to do the Bond board. Welcome back. The first category on the Bond board is the opening sequence. The pre-title sequence.
Right.
So, a few little things on this. First of all, it's the first Bond film to pick up immediately where the previous one left off.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know if you noticed, but Bond has taken off his waistcoat.
Ah.
But that's a small continuity point.
Yeah.
I'm just being picky. Perhaps he changed his suit because he got a bit dirty shooting Mr. White. Who knows?
Yeah.
It is extremely fast, as you say,
Yeah.
the opening sequence, the cuts and everything else. And you can tell immediately that it's a different director. My son commented on this when he watched it with me recently. He said straight away, it just feels a completely different movie from Casino Royale. I do like the way Bond is quite cool and matter-of-fact with the final car that's chasing him.
Yeah.
He just kind of goes, yeah, now I've got you, and just kills him as he gets on. But yes, the cuts are too fast, but I do think it's a good action sequence. The crashes look very realistic, and, I think there's a lot in it that's good. It's just really blink and you'll miss it, isn't it?
Yes, very brief, and it just shows you what you're getting yourself into in the next only hour and 45.
Yeah,
though,
quite
so,
short one. This,
there's that, but yes.
I quite like being on the side of the lake. I mean, I love Italy, so I'm loving seeing it. It looks great, and all that.
But
and
really,
Sienna looks gorgeous,
It does, but you don't get to see any of it for any, lasting
great
amount
length
of
of
time before he goes off to something else in a third of a second later.
So, what are you saying for the opening sequence?
I've only gone 5.
Oof.
I thought it was
That does seem-
while it, it's a chase, but it's not like a big standout thing at the beginning. And there's just the Mr. White reveal was really the only thing they got going for it, which is, this is immediately after the last movie. I didn't like it. 5.
5, fair enough. I have said 7.
Okay.
Tom's score will be in blue. My
I'll
score
try
will
the
be
red.
in
Oh, the
red.
red's
Oh,
working.
the red's working again. That's nice.
I got orange just in case.
That's nice.
Oh.
Can't put a
Okay.
price on your red pen working, can you?
Yeah.
Then we've got the theme song as our second category. Now, this was the first Bond theme duet.
Yeah.
Yes, very interesting. Jack White, the aforementioned Jack White, who may or may not be a vampire, and Alicia Keys. Slightly odd combination. You wouldn't naturally put them together, would you?
Not really.
Song was written by Jack White.
Yeah.
I quite like the sort of vibe of it, but I don't like that middle 8, that whoa bit. I'm not having that.
Okay.
That's like...
sorry, mate. The doorbell. I just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. No, yeah, you
Sorry,
go,
it's
you go to the
embarrassing.
door. Yeah, absolutely. No. This happened once before. Do you remember when
No.
you had an accident and
don't
as you were
remember.
answering the door, and it turned out Brian May had turned up, so you missed it. That was bad luck, wasn't it? But there we are. Oh my God! What's happened? It looks like a vampire that looks a bit like Jack White.
What?
Well,
no,
that's-
I'm not a vampire. I am Music Man.
You're Jack White, the famous musician.
Yeah. Oh no, my cape, my vampire.
You may have just caught your cape in the seat there, Jack. Yeah, but that's fine. Don't worry. Yeah, no, good. Well, welcome.
Oh well.
Yes, indeed. So what did he do with Tom? He just screamed and ran away, did he?
I saw me fainted, shat himself.
Yeah, well, he does faint quite
Oh,
a
well,
lot.
well.
actually. Yeah, well.
I am not a vampire.
No, I can see. No, that's very impressive.
Right.
So what are you doing in Bristol, Jack White the vampire?
I come to murder. I mean, I come to play music. Show you all the Bond song that I've done. Oh well.
I'm sorry, you're doing Grease. Oh well,
No.
ooh, tell me more.
No, it's what he says. Oh well.
Oh well,
Oh
well. Van Helsing.
Oh no.
I can't.
I found
die.
this guitar.
Oh look, yeah. Now, Jack, we always have a guitar in the corner of the studio because Tom can play guitar.
Really?
So you can borrow Tom's guitar. That's fine, Jack. Sounding good there, Jack. Sounding
Here we
good.
go. Let's see how this works. So yeah, I wrote.
Why have we
wrote
gone
the
into
song.
Borat?
I am not a vampire. Okay.
I read this song with my wife.
Silence!
Sorry.
Let's hear what
Okay.
I've done. You can sing along if you want.
I don't want to spoil it, Jack.
Not a vampire.
Another way to die. Great stuff, Jack.
I
Thank you
remember
very much.
this.
Yeah, you remembered it really well, considering it was some years ago that you wrote that. Yeah, very good. Very impressed. Well, thank you, Jack White, the definite
That's
non-vampire. Do you know what?
Not a vampire.
Tom's going to be really annoyed that he missed that because he fainted when he saw you. But you know, that's
Let's go and see him. He looked a little drained.
very good.
Not a vampire.
Vampire humour, but you're not a vampire. No, very,
no.
very good. Well,
But yes.
well, very nice to meet you, Jack White. Thank you very much.
It's time for me to go back to Hotel Europa.
Hotel Transylvania.
No.
No, definitely not that. Well,
Europa. It's a White Stripe song, you
I
asshole.
know. I was being. Hotel Transylvania. It doesn't matter. Well, thank you. Very nice to meet you, and give our regards to Alicia Keys. Good. He's off. There he goes. Look. Wow. So Jack White, the vampire, was in Bristol after all. Amazing. Well, I don't know how we continue without. Oh, here he is, Tom. Hi. You'll never guess what happened.
Oh, God, I remember.
What happened to you? Because you know.
I saw Jack White and I shot myself.
So do we just carry on like nothing has happened now then? Do we just carry on like everything's completely normal? Okay, cool. Well, that was the Bond theme, which was called Another Way to Die, written by Jack White, performed by Jack White and Alicia Keys. There's also a good closing theme as well, which is Crawl End Crawl by Four Tet.
Beats.
Beats, which is not particularly memorable, but it does fit the mood of the film quite well. And actually, it's a remix of the score. We'll talk about the score in a minute.
Right.
So after all of our various shenanigans with Jack White, the definite non-vampire, what's your score for the theme tune?
7.
I also have said 7.
Yeah.
That was a very long-winded way of us getting to the same score, wasn't it? But
yeah, I'll say...
I like it. I don't like that middle 8 bit, but I do like the most part.
I'm not a big fan of... I can't understand any of the words, that's why Jack White didn't... yeah, I don't understand it.
It is a bit, isn't it?
But yes, but I like the White Stripes.
I like the White Stripes,
I saw them back in the day.
Did you?
Twice. 2 Glastonburys.
Oh, nice.
I've just realised we haven't actually activated the bomb board.
Yeah, shit.
But
We just jumped straight into it. Oh, don't worry about it.
Let's not bother.
Yeah, right, the third category is the music, the score for this particular movie. David Arnold again. 5th time David Arnold scored a Bond film. As with Casino Royale, he kept the use of the James Bond theme to a minimum. Da, 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 da. You don't hear that until the end, as he did with Casino Royale. And what he did, David Arnold, for this score, there were 6 key themes, or I believe the word is leitmotifs.
Yeah.
That are small pieces of music that are reused throughout the movie. The Quantum theme, the Revenge theme, Camille's theme, Vesper's theme, James's theme, obviously Bond, and No Good About Goodbye. Now, No Good About Goodbye was a song that he had written with none other than Shirley Bassey. And he subsequently recorded with her as well. You can find it on his albums and things. She sings it absolutely beautifully. Very, very Bondy theme that he had written. And that's the 6-note main theme that comes from the opening of that song. So anyway, that's the background to the score. David Arnold, I think, does some good work on this. But look, you're the musician. You tell me.
I thought it was, well, just mainly fine, but nothing really...
outstanding.
Nothing amazing. Only, there's a little bit of a clunker with the Camille in the car chase of the bike, when it just goes a little bit... But
we're not talking GoldenEye Ferrari chase.
We're not in that territory.
No, okay, good.
But yeah, I wasn't massive on this one. I've again gone 7.
I also have said a good solid 7. Which
Yeah.
I think is the appropriate score for this particular piece of music. Next, we are going to talk about...
Sorry, I've just got my red pen has gone, so I'm just going to temporarily go orange, which is the closest I've got.
That's a change to the usual format, isn't it? That's a daring new left field we've taken there.
Pretty close to red.
It's pretty close to red.
But we can always change it if we get complaints or whatever.
Well, there's 3 categories down, and next we're going to talk about stunts.
Actually, this is the one category I have written a bit of a list.
Okay, go.
Well, we got the opening car chase, what we have already mentioned.
Pre-title sequence, yes.
Rooftop parkour.
Through Siena.
Swinging bell fight. It leads to the swinging bell fight.
Yes.
We got some more close proximity fighting, quite a bit of that in the hotel room with the second geezer he kills. Yes. I like it when he grabs the motorbike. Grab! That's a good bit.
Motorbike grab. Judo chop.
Yeah, well done, Bond.
Yeah, very good.
Do you like the bike jump onto boat?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
It's all right.
I'm all right with it.
It's
a Bond film. Come on.
Just about.
It's not as stupid as kite surfing off of the end of a tsunami, is it? You know, let's be honest.
No. Leading on to the boat chase, which was all right. That's pretty
boat
cool.
Chase is fine. Yeah.
Theatre restaurant fight, like you say, intercut with the opera.
I think that works really well.
I don't.
Really?
It's...
You don't like that sequence?
No, because...
Oh, wow.
Because it's doing, look at me, we're doing this, it's like, not only do you get to watch a Bond film, you get to watch loads of opera as well, with characters that got nothing to do with it. I get it, it's symbolism, it's scope, it's cinematic, but it has nothing to do with anything. It's just there to look clever.
It's almost like he went a bit art house at that point, isn't it? I must say, I didn't mind it, but I take your point on the
And
same.
it's same with the horse race at the start. Is, you know, apart from the fact that there's a crowd that they have to deal with, that has nothing to do with anything going on, and it's just, horse races run fast and the men are running fast.
Oh, I
Let's
see.
keep
Okay.
intercutting.
Let's.
But it's like, let's keep watching the characters that we're meant to be invested in. So yeah, that's me being a critic there.
You are. That was proper critical analysis. I'm very impressed.
Don't like
very
it.
Good.
Stick to the action.
The parachute jump. We haven't talked about that yet. Or the sharing one parachute jump. When you slow it down, it is a little bit CGI.
Well, it's got green screen stuff, isn't it?
Well, actually, they were in a wind tunnel.
Okay.
So their faces were getting blasted and stuff, but obviously the background is green screen, yes. But it's not CGI like Die Another Day was CGI.
No, but it's, and that leaving it to the very last second, for the parachute to go off and all that is just...
Yeah.
Obviously, it could have been extremely dangerous to do that, but I don't care about seeing something like that unless it looks like they've actually done it.
Actually done it. Yeah, well, that's true. And again, the sort of standard for these is, we talked about this before, but the pre-title sequence of Moonraker with Jaws and everything else, where those guys have done hundreds of jumps to get there.
Yeah.
And they'll do 100 jumps and get 2 minutes of usable footage or whatever else. So I take your point. There is a different way of doing this.
Yeah.
But, and then, of course, we got the final sequence at the Perles de las Dunas.
Before that, though...
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, there is... I did like... a bit of a stretch, but when Bond takes out all those agents while he's restrained in the lift.
Yeah, in the lift.
That's pretty cool.
Again, constrained area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like you say, the end shootout, everything's exploding, burning.
Yeah.
Axe to foot. That's pretty good, that
and
bit.
Dominic Green making weird grunting noises and squealing noises. I think the stunts are fine. In principle, it's just the sort of way they make it to the screen isn't quite right.
Yeah.
The ideas are good,
Yeah.
but they're not quite...
Not
quite.
I'm 100% with you.
Thank you.
That's what that's what I thought.
Well,
so
what are you saying?
I'm only going 6 for stunts.
Okay, I've said 7 for stunts.
Because...
You've said, you don't have to say cuz again. You've said. Because, no, we already done that, but... Okay, a 7 and a 6.
Yeah.
So I'm a little ahead of you after 4 categories. The 5th category is vehicles.
Yeah.
Vehicles. Shall I zip through my list quickly?
Yeah, I haven't...
Okay. So, first of all, we have the return of the DBS, which will make me and the official nice person very happy, because it is a beautiful, beautiful car.
Even with the door knackered at the end.
Door knackered, but it makes it easy to shoot the bad guy over the edge of the quarry. That's why he did that, you see. Don't know why he did that, but he wasn't showing off. We also have baddies in Alfa Romeo 159s, which was a lovely car back in its day. Camille drives around in an electric Ford car, which is quite nice.
It's electric, is it?
It is, it's electric. You can hear it as it goes along. So an early electric vehicle. Right. There was a deal with Ford, so you'll see lots of Fords, like the
following on from the Mondeo.
The 4x4 that he nicks and all that stuff at the airfield and all that. But then when he gets to Austria, Bond is driving a Volvo S40, which seems a very odd choice. But anyway, there we are.
It's still time for him to get in a Vauxhall Viva. Like me.
Well, he does get in a VW Beetle. Because Camille steals a VW Beetle later on. Quite nice to see that. Anyway, that's the cars. There are a couple of boats.
Yeah.
There was a deal again with Sunseeker boats, who are quite. I understand. I don't know anything about this, but they're quite sort of well known for sort of luxury.
Neither of us are boat guys.
We're not boat guys. No. However, the boat that he takes to Mathis's villa in Italy is one of those nice wood-panelled, quite luxurious-looking launches.
Yeah.
And that's called the Sovereign 17. And in Haiti, the baddies use a Super Hawk 43, which makes sense, doesn't it? Because you couldn't possibly use the Super Hawk 42, could you? That would have been ridiculous. See, I know boats.
You do know.
I don't know shit, mate. There's also...
You nearly had me.
You see?
Hang on, I thought we didn't
There's
know anything
also
about boats.
a DC-3 plane, the big silver plane that Bond has to fly and crash and all the rest of it.
The one that gets attacked by the
Properly
fighter jet
ancient
thing.
plane that comes from the 40s. 40s or 50s, I think.
Right.
So, yeah, and that genuinely was an old knackered plane that they were flying there. And there is also Bond on a motorbike, which Daniel Craig does a lot, actually, in his time as Bond.
Yeah.
Now, the bike is, and I hope this means something to someone, a Honda Montesa Kota 4RT Trials bike.
Yeah.
I hope that means something to someone, because it doesn't mean anything to me. But anyway, there you are. Enjoy that, motorbike people. That one's for you. Anyway, those are the vehicles. What you saying in the way of a score?
I've only gone 6.
Have you?
Yeah.
That seems a little mediocre.
Yeah. Well, because the car,
You don't have to justify it.
I will.
Oh, okay.
only in to say that the car, we've already had that, and he only has it in the beginning, knackers it up, and it's gone. So
True.
I'm not going to give him loads of points for a car we've already seen.
I did like the boat that he takes to Mathis's villa.
They're nice.
That
boats.
did look nice. I will be honest.
No, nothing stand out.
Do you know, I've put 7, but now I'm thinking, although I like the 159. No, go on, I'll stick with my 7. I'll stick with my 7.
All right.
Villain is next.
Yeah.
So let us talk about Mathieu Amalric as Dominic
reckon?
Green. Well,
This confuses me, mate. I don't know what I think about
I know.
him.
I mean, in some ways, he's. I get that they wanted a slightly more understated villain, but he's understated to the point of anonymity in places, and that. But they do. I mean, the one thing I will say is, I really like his death. I really like the idea that Bond just drives him out into the middle of the desert and just leaves him. Okay. And there's no bit. I think it fits the sort of tone of the movie, like a genuine revenge thing.
Yeah.
And I mean that's a horrible way to die. And I quite like that rather than I shot him. And I think it fits with there's something very cold about that.
Yeah, it's really flipping horrible, though, isn't it?
It is. But I think it really works. And I think it is... And I think it's a good scene. I think Amalric is a good actor. I mean, he's popped up in lots of things. He is good. I think the problem is, when it comes to things like... We talked about Toby Stephens in Die Another Day. When he gives his big speech talking about Icarus...
Yes.
You can see... This guy's properly mental, and he's loving every minute of it.
Exactly, yeah. He's the
Dominic Green's speech is a bit sort of underwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's where it doesn't work so well.
And it's difficult to sort of judge it on what we do, which is the villain, Bondiness.
Yeah.
In that sense, he's not very standout.
No, that's
especially
true.
if you can compare him with Le Chiffre last
and
time.
And also, I don't think he's helped, to be fair. The scheme, it isn't a sort of big let's flood the world or let's kill everyone type scheme.
Yeah.
The scheme is a bit meh. And it's kind of slightly secondary to the story of Bond wanting revenge against the people who killed Vesper.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's helped by the fact that if he was a slightly underwhelming villain but had an enormous scheme, it might work. But the scheme is a little bit underwhelming as well.
Yeah, okay.
That's the only thing I would say. But I do think he's good in individual scenes.
And
also, like, handing her over to Medrano and saying, chuck her over the board when he's finished.
Yeah,
Again, I mean, that's up with anything we've ever seen any villain do.
Yeah.
You know, so he is a curious sort of contradiction, isn't he? So, what are we saying for Dominic Green?
Dominic Green, oh, God. I keep changing my mind. I'm going to go... 7.
I have also said 7.
I wrote down 5, and then I was thinking, no.
I don't think Kamal Khan is a particularly memorable villain. I've marked him a 7 for Octopussy.
Yeah.
So in fairness, to be consistent, I will go 7 too.
Really good actor, strong performance. Just like he's not Bondy, but that's obviously
Bondy. Henchman is the next category.
Yeah.
Now, I think we may struggle slightly here because it's good to see Mr. White again, although he's in it a very brief amount of time.
Yeah.
And by the way, he is the smart one in Quantum who doesn't stand up and leave the theatre. The rest of them are all like, and which is the worst thing to do. He just quietly takes the thing out of his ear, which is very Mr. White, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when it comes to henchmen, we have Elvis. Now I'm
Is that what his name is?
That's his name. Now I'm going public with this.
Yeah.
Shit henchman, shit hair. What is the point of him?
It's great. The only thing he's got going for him is the wig, because that's quite funny, that bit where
It is.
because the movie, the beginning of the movie, you're like, whoa, check out Pudding Bowl, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like, oh no, it is actually a wig watch.
Nice.
Which we haven't had since Connery
Connery.
days.
Nice to see that again.
But it's a deliberate wig watch.
It
so,
is a very obvious wig.
So that's it though. Other than that,
shit henchman.
couldn't give a shit.
He can't shoot anyone. He can't beat anyone up. He can't
Yeah.
at the end. Green gives him the gun and just leaves him there to die. I mean, what's the point of him?
Yeah.
So sorry, shit henchman. General Medrano,
Yeah.
I do think is more memorable. I mean, he
alright.
genuinely does seem a real nasty piece of work.
Oh, he's horrible.
Which your henchmen have got to be,
Yeah.
right? They've really got to have a genuinely nasty streak. And Medrano is, particularly with his attitude to women, obviously, is horrible. And I think the backstory with him and Camille actually works quite well. I think Olga Kurylenko does well with it too. So I think Medrano works a lot better as a nasty henchman type. And there's no pretense of, like there is with the police chief, this guy seems to be all right, but actually it turns out he's working for Quantum.
Yeah.
That with Medrano, straight away you're like, whoa, he's horrible, right?
Yeah.
You know. Should we mention Beam at this point as well? Because
Yes.
I know he's not he's technically on the side of good, but he's not really, is he? Because he sees the world very differently to how Bond and Felix sees it, and he basically colludes with Dominic Green, knowing that he's not a great guy, and organises the coup and all that kind of stuff. So Beam, I think, is a pretty slippery bastard, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah. Just, like you say, quite devious.
Devious.
But just,
shifty.
And also just a bit of novelty, because I haven't seen this movie before, so I've only seen David Harbour when he's like 20 years older.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He was younger but older, if you know what I mean. He
So
doesn't look 33,
moustache.
does he? It's the facial hair. Anyway, what are we saying for henchmen? I mean, we don't have great selection of henchmen,
Not
do
good
we?
at all. I like the general guy, story-wise,
pretty good.
it's
Yeah,
alright.
yeah.
Actor's fine, bit of bastardry, but very much on the periphery.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So we're really talking about Wiggo,
Wiggo.
Elvis.
Oh, g'day, Wiggo.
G'day, Wiggo.
Aye, mate, Wiggo.
4.
That seems... Oh, wow, okay, 4.
Yeah.
I've gone 6.
All right.
A 4. Wow, that's low.
Although
Although Elvis is shit. I mean, I will
Yeah.
completely agree with you on that.
And that is only raised by having the bit where they show his wig.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good henchman movie, okay?
No, it's not a big henchman movie at all.
Right.
Location.
It's a bit better. Well, there's a lot going on.
A lot going on. We go from Italy and Siena to London, to Haiti, to Austria, back to Italy, to Bolivia, to Russia to finish off. You don't see Bond in Russia much. So, would you like to know some ins and outs of
Let's
this? Siena was real. They shot the horse racing sequence a year before during the annual festival that they have there, and then went back to shoot the scenes of Bond chasing Mitchell through the crowd several months later.
Okay.
The car chase was around the side of Lake Garda in Italy and the marble quarries at Carrara, also in northern Italy. They didn't go to Haiti or Bolivia. They did that in Panama City, where apparently they were enormously sort of popular and welcomed with open arms. So they stayed in Panama to a city called Colón, which looks like colon, but it's Colón apparently, for the boat chase sequence.
Lovely area.
Lovely area.
Colón.
Yeah, very nice to be in Colón again.
God, I'm
How
doing one of
childish
your
are we?
jokes. God.
How childish are we? Seriously. The boat chase thing was actually shot in Chile in Antofagasta, which is a port city in Chile. And the bit that was supposed to be in the Atacama Desert, so the Perla de los Dunas Hotel, that is a hotel in the Atacama Desert.
it?
Yeah, it's the hotel for the Paranal Observatory.
The one at the end, right?
Yeah,
Where it all.
that is absolutely a genuine building.
I thought they
No,
built it or did
the
CG'd
interiors
it or
were done
whatever.
at Pinewood, but the exteriors were genuinely in the Atacama Desert in Chile at the. It's called the ESO Hotel at the Paranal Observatory, and it's for all the observatory staff, all the clever space sciencey people to stay at when they're working at the observatory.
Did they?
And it's sort of cut into the desert, and it like blends into the desert. It's an amazing looking building, actually.
Was it all right after the fire? And
Yeah. No, it's good. Austria, Bregenz, that floating opera stage is real.
Whoa.
Yeah, they went there to film that. It's outdoors, and they have all through the summer. They have it's literally this sort of floating stage over the water, and it's all completely real. And finally, Kazan, in Russia, the snowy scenes at the end. Aldershot.
Oh.
It's the military barracks at Aldershot.
Ah, right.
So, actually, it looks really good.
Looks fine.
Anyway, look, that's the location.
That's all right.
What you're saying.
7.
I also
Whoa.
am saying 7. I'm being very 7-y tonight. I've got lots of 7s on my list.
Yeah.
But I think that, anyway,
It's
I think
about
that
to
fits.
change.
Well, possibly, because we're on to the story. Now, let me just say, I am really, really torn on this, because the first time I watched Quantum of Solace in the cinema, when it first came out, I came out of there thinking, what was going on? What was the story? What happened? What, what was all that? And it is too complicated. And you mentioned the cuts don't help. It's not just that the script is complicated, but the cuts don't help, because you see the photo of Vesper and her boyfriend for such a short period of time, and then you don't see him again until the end
end
at
of the
Kazan,
movie.
and you're going, who was this guy? So I was kind of trying to follow that, and I really struggle with that. And I do think it's too complex. However, I'm going to say this. In its defense, I think there are some fantastic individual scenes.
Yeah.
I think the scene of Bond and Felix in the bar,
that's
is
good.
terrific.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I think the scene of Bond and Mathis on the plane,
Nice.
when they're drinking in the first class
I
bar
like
of the
that
plane.
apart from the flipping recipe.
Oh yeah, but he's got to get that in, hasn't he? Because it's in the book. But
does.
I do think those are two really good actors being given the space to
That's nice.
have a good
Yeah.
scene, right? I think the end scene is very good in Kazan. I think the way Craig plays that, when he explains the whole thing to the girl from Canadian Intelligence and all that.
Yeah.
So I think there are some individual scenes that are great. I think the problem is how it hangs together, and as you say, the way it's cut does leave you confused. However, if you can get past that on the big screen, if you know that the script isn't great and you can sort of accept that, on the big screen, I have to say, I thought it worked really well. It moves at a great pace. I don't mean the cuts here. I mean the script. You go from Bolivia to here, to here, to here, to here. I quite like that in a Bond film.
Yeah.
So I'm less critical of it than I was, but the script is definitely a problem. One more thing. Sorry, I know I'm taking over, but just very quickly. One more thing.
Go for it.
We've talked a lot in the past about exposition in Bond films.
Yeah.
Where you have those scenes of Bond,
Oh.
this guy's been found in Thailand. Right, I'll go to Thailand.
Yeah.
And we've sort of taken the piss a bit before with too much exposition. But actually, I thought this movie could have used a little bit more exposition.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit torn
Yeah.
about this story, to be honest.
It
It was clearly badly affected by the riot strike. No question, it was badly affected by the riot strike.
I've got another bit of a problem with it, in that this is like, it's either movie 22 or Bond 2.0.
Yeah, Casino Royale Part 2. Yeah, no, I agree.
So
I
but
agree.
it's a bit late in the day to have this sort of. It's almost like the arc in this one. The
yeah.
personal arc is M going, for Christ's sake, Bond, stop killing everyone.
Yeah.
Bring them in for questioning.
Yeah.
And the fact that he can't. I know that, or in each situation you could argue he had no choice.
Yeah.
Bollocks. He could, if you're a better agent, you can bring people in, not kill them.
Yeah.
And it just seems like
Like Mr. Slate.
22 movies in, have we now got to go, well, Bond's not actually that great at, like, actually,
Or just running around killing it.
Yeah, he can kill people fine, but getting that vital bit of, we don't know.
I think it goes back to Casino Royale, and because bear in mind, Casino Royale was a reboot, wasn't it? So it's almost like everything before it didn't happen.
Another problem with this movie is that it's part 2 of a series.
Indeed.
As a standalone movie, it's no good. You need to
have seen Casino Royale. Agreed.
And I'm very eager to watch the next instalment. This is it's part 2 of a series. Very expensive series.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. So anyway, look, I'm really torn on the story, and I honestly don't know quite how to score it. I should score it quite low, but I do like some of the individual scenes.
Yeah.
So I am going to go for a 5.
Yeah. I'm going to match you.
Okay.
It's weird.
It's a shame, because I think there's bits in it that could make this really good.
Yeah.
Next, I have... Are we down to the last... We are. We're down to the last 3
indeed, aren't we?
categories, which, of course, are...
Gadgets, gags, and girls.
Gadgets, gags, and girls, or as Mr. White would say, gadgets, gags, and girls.
Like W.C. Fields.
Fancy fixtures, lad.
Yeah.
Right, gadgets. We are light on gadgets in this movie. No question. We do have lots of big screens.
I was going to say,
Big
let's see
late
what you've
2000
got.
screens.
See if I missed any.
Are good.
Yeah.
I actually quite like the big touchscreen table.
I like it. We got
thing.
MI6
I think that
smart
looks
table.
all right.
And Tanner's got a smart wall.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like the table. I like the way he goes, here's the money, and here's this, and here's his passport.
You get the wall first.
I think that's quite good.
And then...
I quite like the screen, the big table.
That looks all right. It still looks pretty good, like 15 plus years later.
I think that looks all right. I like it.
But that's it, really, isn't it?
Well, the only other thing I can really point to is yet another Sony Ericsson phone
with
like
a tracker
we had
on it
in the last movie.
Yeah.
This particular Sony Ericsson, for those of you who are fans of late 2000s mobile phones, is the Sony Ericsson C902 Cybershot in titanium silver. Very nice
stuff.
It has a built-in identification imager, which we see him build the composite screen of Mr. Green's face.
Yeah.
Which is quite good. And it can also receive information regarding the suspect because it got a load of information straight through from MI6's central data.
Yeah.
Which again, pretty good for 2008. But other than that, I'm struggling for a gadget.
Really, mate. I had to... Can we have that old Italian lady's fruit basket on the pulley system?
No, I'm not allowing that. Sorry.
I mean, that wasn't really going to raise the points by much.
It wasn't.
I was just going to say that's the only other thing
bring
that...
them down, if anything.
Would that qualify?
So anyway, good gadgets, but not many of them. So I've gone 5.
5? I don't think they're even that good. We just got some all right tech, really, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've only gone 3.
3? What, even for the big touch table thing?
Yeah.
I thought you'd like that.
I liked it. I wanted to see
More
gadgets that harm people or get you into buildings or
Your
whatever.
obsession with guns again.
No, I'm just saying gadgets should be, they're normally a bit dangerous or whatever, aren't they?
Gags is the next category.
I think...
We're a bit light on gags, but there are the ones that are...
Really?
Yeah, well... I mean, first of all, I'm taking the road sweeper as a gag.
Okay.
Right? Because
right.
that can't be for real.
Okay, because I've written 3 things down and we've mentioned 2 already.
Okay. So I think the road sweeper, yeah. Okay.
That's not intentional, is it?
I know, it's an intentional
You're going to
gag.
give them points for
like
up.
I like it. You were supposed to shoot her, I missed, and sort of slapping the bike out of his hands. It's kind of gaggish, isn't it? Right? What the hell are you doing? You're welcome when he takes Camille away from Medrano.
Yeah.
I like she's seasick when he hands Camille to the hotel porter. That's a bit like Down of the Day, isn't it? With the wheelchair, you know? I think that's all right. Now, if you could avoid killing every possible lead, it would be appreciated. I don't mind that. I think that's all right. Quite downbeat for...
Yeah.
I think she has handcuffs. I do hope so.
No.
Bit more old-fashioned Bond, but quite like that when he meets Field.
Right, yeah.
Your mother, she likes to think so when Camille is asking about
Yeah.
However,
Laugh
I am going to defend this scene to the hilt.
Right.
I love the little bit of when Bond goes to the shit hotel and then goes to the posh hotel and says, "We are teachers who have just won the lottery." I think that's brilliant.
That's the only
I
thing
think that's
I've written.
absolutely in line with classic Bond gags.
That's the only
He's
thing.
going to stay in a big posh hotel
Yeah.
because why the hell not? And he's going to make some completely improbable joke to get in there. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I love that.
It was.
Could have done with more.
I like that bit, and that's the only one I actually wrote down.
Yeah.
As a gag, because
It's good though, isn't it? Don't you
Right,
think? And given
but-
that Craig doesn't really do comedy,
Yeah.
he does it really well. And also the fact he says it in Spanish, that's a
Yeah.
nice touch as well.
right,
You know.
yeah.
So I'm definitely going into bat for that scene.
Yeah.
The rest we are a little bit light on gags, I grant you. I have said
yeah.
6.
6. Well, I just.
You've said 1 or something, haven't you? 'Cause
2.
you- Really?
Because, I mean, the things that you mentioned, just kind of like. They're not like the gags that we. I know we're
They're not one line.
We're not
They're not
in,
one-liners.
We're not in that world anymore.
No, we're not.
But they're slightly amusing things that, I didn't.
No, I get that. But for example, with the way Judi Dench says, if you could avoid killing every possible lead, it would be appreciated. I think that's quite good.
It's all right, but I was more annoyed about that whole story thread anyway. And it's like, yeah, I'm just with M. Stop
I see what you
killing
mean.
everyone.
Okay,
You're
yeah,
annoying
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Why are you so? Why don't you get it? Yeah, sorry, 2 for
Have
gags.
we ever given a 2 for anything before? I know there's been a couple of 3s.
What did you say? 5?
I said 6.
6. So
You're
very
saying
close.
2.
I mean, it's like they deliberately went, let's not do any gags this time.
I think they were going for
Yeah.
a different feel,
Yeah.
weren't they? Yeah, no question. Which leads us to girls. So we have Olga Kurilenko. I like Camille. I think she's quite tough. She's as focused and determined to land her quarry as Bond is. Resourceful. She's always nicking cars to rescue Bond and stuff like that. Fields, I think, is handled a little bit.
Badly.
Yeah.
The way he just ditches her, and it's like, oh yeah,
And
she
buggers
gets,
off with Camille.
Yeah. The
At
problems,
least make sure she gets home all right.
Exactly.
You know,
The problems I have with the story are the Bond being really bad at his job.
Yeah. One thing I do like about Fields is she does seem to sort of, when you first see her, she looks very sort of junior and very, she looks too spyish as well, by the way. Trench coat and boots, you're like,
Yeah.
hi, I'm not a spy or anything,
Yeah,
right? But she seems to sort of grow into the role and she's quite resourceful and everything else. So I think I quite like the way she develops. And of course, her death is a very obvious, to me, callback to Goldfinger.
You immediately think,
Goldfinger.
I could be watching Goldfinger.
Led on the bed, face down. It's just oil instead of gold.
I
Right?
could be watching Goldfinger instead of this.
But Gemma Arterton is a terrific actress. I think she is a little underused.
Oh, absolutely
You know.
underused.
One other thing I'd like to just consider on the subject of girls, I read a blog on this, which was quite interesting, which suggested that the real Bond girl of this movie is Vesper, even though she's dead, because she's driving.
I see what you're saying there. mate.
Very clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even
She
because
ain't in the
she's sort
bloody
of
movie.
driving all the events of the
Yeah,
movie.
bollocks. So she ain't in the film, so we're
And
not. We're not going to. No.
Oh, so if you wrote that blog, bollocks.
She's not the Bond.
But no, you can see what I mean.
I
She's,
understand.
she's the reason Bond is doing
Story-wise,
what he's doing.
She's sort of more significant.
She is.
Man.
And at the
Even
end,
Camille.
we've still got the chain
Well,
and all that kind of stuff.
Well, as far as Bond's concerned,
She is more
she's
significant than
significant.
Camille.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Camille's
Yeah.
got a big, significant
Role in the
story
movie, but not
thread
in Bond's
kind of
life.
thing. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely.
I took the piss, but that's pretty
That
good.
is a good
That's
point.
a pretty good point.
So
actually.
what are we saying for girls?
Only on 5.
Have you?
Yeah,
I've
I like Camille, and I think they ballsed up with Fields, and I had to put the score down.
I've gone 7 because I think Camille's a little bit underrated.
Okay.
And I have to say, although Fields is badly underused, I am a Gemma Arterton fan. I do think she's a marvellous actress.
But yeah, not a fan of the usage of a Halo 7, you say?
as it were. So that's it. We've
That's it,
scored
mate.
all of our movies. Now we have to find out where Quantum of Solace is going to fit in into our overall scheme of scoring, which is tremendously complicated. It's a bit like the Duckworth-Lewis method. So we're going to have to go away,
God.
figure it all out, and we'll be back.
Duckworth-Lewis.
Duckworth-Lewis method. Bowling from James Anderson end. So, Quantum of Solace. Well,
Right.
I've inputted your data. Ooh. And I have scored it
78.
out of 120. And Tom has scored it
64.
out of 120, giving us a grand total of
142.
out of 240, which puts Quantum of Solace, and I'm surprised by this,
Yeah.
one from last. Only
Yeah.
Die Another Day is behind it. So that's 21st out of 22nd. Now, the reason I'm surprised at this is I recognise the faults in this movie. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do. But I do have a good time watching it. I enjoy it.
I quite like it, but I knew that it was gonna, like, category-wise for
Yeah.
me, I was seeing, like, when I was making my notes, I was like, I have not written anything for gags. I've not written anything for gadgets. So that I knew that was just gonna fail.
It comes back to what we said about Dr. No. We both like Dr. No, but it scores very low on this because it's not very Bondy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have enormous stunts, enormous gags, gadgets, and all that kind of stuff. And I think Quantum of Solace, similar. I don't think it's the 21st out of the 22nd movies we've seen so far.
And I will say,
but it's not very Bondy, is
I've
it?
watched 22 very enjoyable, fun movies.
Yeah.
We got to rank them. We've got to place them in order, and this is what's going to happen,
This is
mate.
what's going to happen, mate.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. See you next time when we will do Skyfall.
Wow.
Are you looking forward to Skyfall?
I'm very much looking forward to Skyfall.
Very much looking forward to Skyfall. Well, there we are. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Review to a Kill. Cheers!